Brought to you by Penguin.
The Long Covid Handbook. Written and read by me, Jez Medinger, and Professor Danny Altmann. Introduction. In early March 2020, I was in the hills above Los Angeles, getting a suntan, trying to get my second feature film off the ground, and training for my fourth marathon. The weather was delightful, my legs were strong, and I was confident of hitting my 2 hours 50 minutes target in the London Marathon the following month. The only problem was that somewhere in central China a pangolin had partied too hard with a bat, and now a pandemic was brewing. It is worth noting that the pangolin's role as the intermediate host that enabled the transmission of COVID from bats to humans remains conjecture. There is yet to be agreement among the scientific community on the origin of the virus. The world, and my life, was about to change immeasurably. I flew back to London on the 6th of March, and less than a week later had my first symptom, a peculiar nausea. The following day, chills and stomach upset. All the colleagues I'd shared a meeting room with a few days prior were ill too. There were no tests, so no one could be sure, but COVID was exploding across London. My initial illness wasn't too severe. I was able to work a few hours a day and felt foolishly and quietly smug that my immune system was obviously better than my colleagues, who were feverish, coughing, and having a general shocker. The London Marathon now looked like it was going to be cancelled, but I was so keen not to lose my hard-won fitness that in the second week of the illness, I tried going for short jogs. By this point, my colleagues were recovering. I was confident that in a few days I'd be right as rain too. After all, the government was saying that if you didn't end up in hospital, then your isolation could end after a week, by which point you'd be fit to go back to work. Only I didn't get better. I kept running, going slowly, telling myself that it was only a matter of time. But the weeks went past and still I felt awful. And then, 5 weeks in, I felt it. A very specific, grisly feeling in my throat and chest that I'd not experienced for 22 years. That feeling was the signature symptom of post-viral fatigue syndrome, also known as PVFS, which I experienced for a year after being ill with glandular fever. Oh God, no, I thought. I can't be doing that for another whole year. Not now. So I decided to make a film for my nascent YouTube channel to examine the potential links between the novel coronavirus and PVFS. Could it be possible that swathes of people would be struck down with a complex, poorly understood and often completely debilitating condition, even after a mild initial COVID infection? I wasn't sure if anyone would find their way to the film, especially given my paltry subscriber base at the time, but it gained an audience in the tens of thousands immediately, people all around the world who were crying out for someone to recognize what was happening to them. I thought I'd make only one film on the subject, but then I made another. And why not one more? It'll be a trilogy, I thought. And now, here I am, more than 2.5 years and 80 films later. Still not back to where I was at in Los Angeles, running 20 kilometers at race pace every day, but able to live a busy life without relapsing every week, as I did in the beginning. The vast improvement in my quality of life has been due in large part to making myself guinea pig number one, incorporating every piece of expert advice and research accumulated on my journey into my own life to aid my recovery. Having made a lot of progress, my goal now is to share the lessons that I and other recovered long haulers have learnt, often the hard way. I couldn't be more pleased to be collaborating on this project with Professor Danny Altmann, one of the UK's most respected immunologists and an expert on post-viral conditions to boot. Since early in the pandemic, he has been prepared to put his head above the parapet and speak on behalf of patients struggling to get recognition from the medical establishment. Danny is also running a large research project at Imperial College London that is investigating the role of immune system abnormalities and autoimmunity, which describes when our immune system attacks our own cells, in long COVID, and so is at the very forefront of biomedical understanding of the illness. Between us, we hope to present a spectrum of the knowledge that exists at the time of writing, from the anecdotal experiences that I've observed in the long COVID community, through to my own patient-led studies and the hard science that's accumulating as more research, trial...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?